Hi ladies, I know you've been missing me, so I wanted to do another training video. This one's going to be like in a couple months. It may not be fully accurate, but I need to get this info out there, and it's just so much easier to say it than type it. So we are doing something tonight on Facebook groups. Not the ones you're running, but the ones you're in, because when you first join Jamboree, you get added to a ton of groups and you don't always know what they're there for and what the good ones are and stuff like that. So I'm going to tell you probably about some of the groups that you're in and what they are, also what groups you should be in, what groups you do not have to be in. You don't technically have to be in any of them, but which ones will be most helpful for you, and which ones you should steer clear of. Okay, so our first group is Jaminians. That is my group. That is our team page. That, if you're only going to be in one group, that is the one to be in, because it's mine. God, I cracked myself up. That's our little community team page. So that's where you can ask any questions. That's the easiest way to get to me. And also our upline executive, Laura Dawson, is in there too. So that's your best one-stop shop for things. So if you really want to kind of get out of everything and you only want one group, that is the one you want to be in. You want to be in the Jaminians for nail domination, because it's just awesome. The second one, the other team pages that you may be on are my, okay, this is where things get a little confusing. The next team page is We're Amazing. We're Jamazing, I think it's called. It's Laura's group. It actually says Laura's group in the title. So Laura is my team manager. So even team managers have team managers, and Laura is my team manager. She's technically a senior executive, so she's all fancy dancy, but she is my team manager. So the next person above me is Laura. So she is an amazing resource. She's also just the sweetest person you'll ever meet. So you could be on her page if you want. She's starting to use it more and more. Hi Laura, you may be watching this. And she just does some cute and fun stuff on her page, and she runs incentives and stuff. But she's also in here, so you can also reach her in here. The other team page you may be on, and I highly recommend being in here, and I'll tell you why, is Absolutely Jamtastic. And that was the team I started in before I became a team manager. Amy Cullison, who is the team manager in there, is Laura's team manager. So the genealogy of it goes me, then my sponsor, and then Laura, and then Amy. So Amy, the reason I think you should be in Amy's group is it's still a small community, but it's much bigger than this one. So if you need an answer quickly, there are also, I think at this point, 4 or 5 team managers in that group. So if you need an answer quickly and I'm not around, or you can't reach somebody, that is a really good place to get an answer to something quickly, because there are a lot of people in there that know what they're doing. There are a lot of people in there that have been here for a while. So I highly recommend being in our team page, on our team page, and on Amy's team page, purely because of the size of it and the amount of resources you have there. So far I am recommending Jaminion and absolutely Jamtastic. You can also be on Laura's page. She's wonderful and I love her, and she's great and her page is wonderful. But if you're trying to cut back on pages, it is one that you guys can cut back on. The next, some of you may have noticed, I know some people got a notice from a girl named Stacy Miller saying that we were in her downline, and that we should join her team page. If you like being on these pages and you like all the resources that they give you, feel free to join Stacy's page. It's a very large page. There are a lot of people on it. But there is no reason you need to be on that page. She's not our upline executive. Laura is. I'm not entirely sure why we all got notices from her. There's no reason you shouldn't be on it. So if you'd like to be on it, I'm one of those people that likes being in a million groups because I like having all the resources. If it's too much for you, don't worry about it. You don't need to be in a million groups. You don't need to have a million posts out there. You don't need to be in getting a bajillion notifications. You don't have to be on Stacy's page. I'm not even sure why we would be on Stacy's page. But if you want to be on Stacy's page, feel free. If you got the note from her and you want to be over there, that's totally fine. But if you don't want to be there, that's also totally fine. I'm on there just to keep an eye on things, but I'm not even mildly active. So, still recommending ours, and absolutely Jamtastic Amy Cullison's page. The other one, so those are our team pages. The other ones you may want to be, that you may be a part of, are some of the bigger groups. And a lot of the other team managers I've seen don't like their downline to be in these groups. And I'll tell you why. There's a lot of misinformation on them. There's a lot of people breaking rules. Anytime you get thousands and thousands of people together, there are going to be bad eggs. And there's going to be a massive game of telephone where people are not always getting the correct information. So, but I don't want to tell you not to be in those groups, because those groups were a lifesaver for me when I was first starting. But I do want to give you this word of warning. Take everything you read in there with a grain of salt. If something doesn't sound right to you, come back and ask, because there's a decent chance someone's talking out their rear end. I will try and find you the correct information if you're ever wondering if something you read is true. So everything in there, take it with a grain of salt. But some of those bigger groups are the Friendly Jamboree Consultants group. That one take with a big grain of salt. Jamboree Central. That one's getting a little better. They're trying to keep everything compliant, and they're trying to keep everything on the up and up. So that one's a little better if you like those big groups. Those are two of the big ones that I know about. Trade groups. We are not allowed to buy from other consultants, so people set up trade groups. These groups are wonderful. I love them. Because like with holiday wraps, I don't need an entire sheet of reindeers. I don't need that. So I traded half of my Santa for reindeers, and then I get both. Also, if you ever have a client that really, really wants something retired, you can look and try and find something for them. But know that you are trading with a random person on the internet. So there's a decent chance, maybe smaller than decent, because I've done it several times, I've never had a problem, but there's a chance you're going to get screwed over. You're sending stuff to a person on the internet. It's just, you don't know these people. If you can, trade within our group. because then you know you'll get what you're supposed to get, there's a chance you'll get screwed. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. I trade all the time and I love it. But there's a chance. So know that when you go into them. I really like Jamboree Central Swappers. It's a good page. I've never had a problem on there. I also like if you're looking for something retired, there's a group called Retired Jamboree Trade Group, I think. That's also another good one. Just know what you're getting into with it. I don't know anything. I know there are a ton of NAS groups. I don't know anything about them. I stopped doing NAS bulk orders because I think it's skeevy. So, I can't give you any information on any of the NAS groups. The one group that I think you should stay away from, it's the one group I'm going to tell you do not be in. And I am in it just to monitor it and make sure none of you get in trouble in there. And get screwed over by anybody. It's Jamboree Tradesies. It is a bleep show in there. I'm not going to curse, I'll just say bleep, but it is awful. Every rule you can think of Jamborees is being just walked on in there. They are doing so many things against the rules, and Jamboree's watching that group hardcore. So stay out of there. There's just bad juju in there. And that is Jamboree Tradesies. I watched that group just to make sure none of you guys are having any problems with people in there. Other than that, so if you want to, there are two types of people. People who like being in every single group and want every single piece of information they can get, which is me, or people that get overwhelmed by that, which is most people. So if you want to cut down on your groups, cut down on your groups. You don't have to be in all those groups. If it's stressing you out that you have 50 notifications when you get back from the bathroom, cut down on them. Just get out of them. The only ones you don't have to be in any of them. The only ones I highly recommend are our team page and Amy's too, if you don't mind being in two. If you only want to be in one, just our team page is totally fine. So that's it. So those are some good pages to be on. That also gives you the genealogy for those team pages to give you an idea of why there are a bajillion different team pages you've been added to. Feel free to get out of them if you don't want to be in them. As I said, there's no reason to be in Stacy's, so feel free to leave that one if you want to. And the big groups, take it with a grain of salt. But those groups were a lifesaver for me when I first started. There were, thousands of people there to answer my questions. So I loved them, and I'm not going to tell you not to use them. But make sure you know that there is lots of misinformation there. So if you're ever questioning something, just come to me, and I'll help you out. Alright, so that is it. That is our video for tonight, and I'm sure you guys missed me so much. I may have to redo it in a couple months when the groups all change, but that's about it. I'm planning on doing more videos in the next few weeks, because I'm done with my parties as of Friday. So they're kind of done now. They're pretty dead. They're what we call dead. Alright. Good night, ladies. Mwah. Oh, I redid my nails. Look, aren't they pretty? I used the matte top coat. Brianna let me borrow it. How gorgeous is that? Loving it. Alright. Bye, guys.